Talks. This is not your typical podcast. We will get into wrestling, lifestyle, and mental health. This podcast is unfiltered and ready to go. The episode will begin in a moment, but before it does, go ahead and give us a follow on all social medias, Tevin Talks, and make sure you give us a follow on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, wherever you may listen to your podcast. Here's Tevin.
Hello, everybody. This is Tevin with Tevin Talks, and my co-host.
That's Benny, not Ben Grayson. I'm just Benny tonight.
Glass. And for people that do not know, we are talking to somebody who I think Benny says he loves him dearly, and he doesn't know where he would be without him. He says this often, by the way. But before we even get into that, me personally, I want to take this time to publicly apologize to you. I had a time last year when I was being weird. I decided to do some BS on Facebook, and I was in a bad headspace, and I shouldn't have even did what I did, even though it was stupid silly. I just wanted to apologize to you personally and just say that, you know, I appreciate you personally. A lot of the times where in wrestling, a lot of people did not believe in me. I feel like you always did, and I felt like I took that out on you, and you didn't deserve that. So I just wanted to say I'm sorry about that, bro.
It's all good. It's the good thing about wrestling is there's so much bad that happens most of the time that I think I forgot about that already. So I don't even remember what it was. I'm sure Benny can remind me, but it's all good.
I'm pretty sure he will.
Yeah, I can, but let's not talk about that. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Hawks from AML Wrestling.
Brian Hawks, man. How you doing today, bro?
Good, man. Long day at work here at the school. We got to load both of our wrestling rings into a truck to get ready for this weekend.
Man, what's going on this weekend? Tell us.
Got two big AML shows. It's been a nightmare to redo because that winter storm that we had, man, it really, when you're running wrestling shows and you go month to month and you're trying to plan matches and storylines and book people, and then one thing happens and you've got 6 months of stories written, and now you got to do the February show before you do the January show, which is insane. Extremely awkward. So now we've got an 18-foot ring for Saturday, a 16-foot for War Games on Sunday. Everything's got to go in a truck. We've had people canceling the shows, rescheduling the shows. People can't make it. It's just been it's been crazy. But the cool thing is we've been doing this for so long, and we got so many amazing people on the staff. We just show up, and we always going to put on a great show. So I got no doubt we're going to do that again this weekend.
That's always, man. I think that for that weather, that first icing that we got was all right, but we got the second time. Shut everything.
I mean that's, you know, I work in the car business besides wrestling, so it's kind of hard to work on cars when you can't get to work and you're not expecting anybody else to be driving either. So there was 2 weeks of just nightmare there for roads and work and wrestling and everything. So I hope it's another 10 to 12 years before we do that again. So.
Yeah, I don't got time for that. Like the first time was cool for the kids, but the second time I was like, all right, this is enough. Now you're affecting my everyday life.
Yeah,
I'm good.
That's my paycheck, brother. Stop.
It's right, exactly.
Dude, we had shut down for 3 days straight. I was like, this is not good.
Between the 2 weeks, I think we took 4 days off of the 2 weeks, and that's just like you still got to pay rent, so it's rough.
Exactly. So, man, here on Tevin Talks, man, we always have a series of questions we're going to ask you through the interview, man. It's going to be super random questions, I promise you. But I really feel like you're going to enjoy it. I took time to write yours out, send it to Benny. I was like, I think he's going to enjoy this. First things first. What is your favorite Ghostbusters film?
It got to be the originals, the favorite.
Okay.
It's really hard to go in order because, you know, I do enjoy. A lot of people hate on 2. I'm a big fan of 2. I thought it was a great movie. Okay. And then the 2 new ones that they made. Frozen Empire is probably at the bottom of that list. But, you know, Afterlife is a really good, man. Me and Benny cried together. So it was
touching, man.
Yeah, it wasn't a wrestling finish that got us. We was in the back of the theater sniffling together like two two old men sniffling in the back row of the AMC.
I
It wasn't Shawn Michaels telling Ric Flair, "I love you, I'm sorry."
No, no, man.
But
I had heard that the one they did with the all female cast was your favorite, so that's why I wanted to ask.
You know, I'll be honest, I went and seen it 3 times in the theaters because I wanted to like it. And, you know, I got 2 daughters and it was an all female cast. I was like, oh, you know, this will be the way that they love Ghostbusters like I do. And then it just, you know, it just didn't.
Hey, man.
And then, you know, I gave it a shot and I was never really critical of it. I mean, it was an okay movie. But I guess when they came out with Afterlife and the female cast just rejected Ghostbusters so much, like they said, "Oh, you didn't mention us," and I'm like, "Y'all didn't mention the Ghostbusters in your movie. What are you talking about? Like, at least this movie is in canon with the other movies. Y'all had Bill Murray as a cameo. Like, you know what I mean? What the heck?" But I guess once they got critical, I just kind of wrote it off, and I don't even acknowledge it anymore. It's not real. That's another
reality.
universe. Yeah, that's one of those peacemaker doors that I don't open. So
I like that. That was good. That was good. That was dope. So, man, just for people, and I mean, I don't know who the hell wouldn't know what AML is nowadays, but what is AML? What does it mean to you?
That's a loaded question, man. So it's Tracy and me always explain it. You know, we kind of did everything backwards. Most people do like a small show and it kind of builds into something bigger later. We started off with WrestleCade, and it was just like, you know, our first show, we had 800 people there. That's like unheard of with indie wrestling.
Most definitely.
So we started off hot, and then, you know, after doing that for a couple of years, we're like, you know, we could do some monthly stuff, and we partnered with PWX. You know, when we first started, a lot of people forget that we sponsored them, and we ran shows in Winston-Salem with PWX. But we didn't really have any creative control. We didn't have any say in who was wrestling, the matches, anything like that. We were more just a sponsor. And after seeing it, you know, we felt like, hey, we could do that better. Not necessarily better, but maybe just different. PWX is definitely a different style of wrestling than I enjoy. Everybody's got their own cup of tea, and if you've ever watched AML, you know, we try to hit on everything: tag team, singles, hardcore, women, comedy. You know, you got to have everything in there. PWX was just flip flop and fly, and you know, you can only watch that leg smack so many times for me. So I don't want to watch it for 3 hours straight. So we decided to do our own thing, and we started at Johnny and June's, and started, you know, having pretty successful indie shows, and quickly found out that you can't have shows in a bar and draw well because kids have to be able to come. And my kids are there. And once we got out of the bar scene and kind of went and got on the road and started giving out free kids tickets, man, it just blossomed from there, which was one of the great marketing things. You know, kids can't drive themselves to wrestling. So if you give them a free ticket, somebody's got to drive their ass there. So you gotta, that's the way to get the parent to come to the show. So it was kind of evolved from there. But we've been doing wrestling since 2012, and it's 2026 now. So,
and that start date was January 25th, right?
Yeah, January 25th, 2015. Matt Hardy, X-Pac, the Washington Bullets, Vordell Walker. It was crazy.
Came out swinging.
Yeah,
literally. And I think, you know, again, you know, people don't take into account. Again, you guys get legit starting backwards. 800 people, man, people will be thankful to have 10 starting up. 800 is wild.
And the crazy thing is, man, I grew up as a wrestling fan and went to wrestling. Like, I don't have memories of independent wrestling ever. I know there was one show when I was a kid that was at the beach when we were on like family vacation, and like I never heard of it, and like it was there and we went as a family. And I remember like jumping in the ring after the show, but I thought that was just like a one-off thing. So like when I initially, like how I got into wrestling was working at a car dealership, and we did like a show out in the parking lot. And I had remembered a guy at a restaurant who did like a customer appreciation event, and he had wrestling there. So I called him and I was like, hey, what is this? And that's how I got introduced to AIWF back then and found out what independent wrestling was. But man, when we started discussing WrestleCade, man, I thought I had like the coolest idea in the world. Like, hey man, let's do a wrestling show, invite some guys we used to watch on TV back in the day. we'll get them all together, and then Tracy's like, we'll do the boxing ring type thing where we have the tables around the ring. So you got like VIP table access. You got like a VIP table of 10 people, which was like, that was creative because wrestling didn't do that. And we've kind of shied away from it now because everybody like complains about it so much. I thought it was cool. I loved it, having them all on the table. Um, but I thought it was like the most creative thing ever. But looking back at it now, it's like this is what people do every weekend all around the United States. So there's nothing inventive about it. But I guess starting from what we did in 2012 with WrestleCade into what we did last year with WrestleCade, I think is hugely different. I mean, that's we went from having 800 people and Matt Hardy and Gunner in a main event, and didn't really know what we were doing, had no idea. George South helped us so much with that. To in the last couple of years, we brought in Violent J, which is a famous rapper with the Insane Clown Posse. We had West Side Gun and Smoke Dizzo last year with Fourth Rope. I mean, it's crazy the amount of like celebrities and people that are involved and want to come be a part of what we're doing, which is just a small town couple guys that just enjoy pro wrestling and grew it into something that big, which is still crazy to me that I even talk to these people on a regular basis now. So
We'll see, like for me, and this is legit every year. I can be working and somebody will start talking wrestling and they're always talking about WrestleCons and I'll mention WrestleK and they're like, well, I actually never heard of it. They end up coming and then these guys go to your shows every single month now. And it's like,
right.
You can ask Benny, it's a handful of people that y'all have grown one day fans to lifetime fans, even that, because y'all are not only are y'all making people's dreams, it's like simple as going to talk to somebody they watched growing up. Like that changes people. Being able, like, it's one thing to see people on TV, but seeing them face to face, and it's like you guys do this every single year. You got to, and you think about like what on an average weekend, how many people are coming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Oh, there was between the 3 days, there was over 20,000 people last year that came through the doors. So it's a lot to, there's not a lot of real staff. I mean, you know what I mean? There's my wife that does the door and she's just got, Benny helps and Mike Calandro, one of my best friends helps. Just volunteers come. It's a family that we've built that just gets together and helps each other, for 3 days. But it's not like we've got like 50 full-time employees. It's like two people that put this together and just like a bunch of people that believe in what we do come to help us over the weekend. It's pretty nuts, actually.
And out of the 20,000, how many of them would you say are repeat customers for WrestleCade?
Probably about 75% of them now. I mean, it's like it's turned into a Thanksgiving tradition now. So people that are coming, it's amazing to look at like the ticket sale list and like the different states they're coming from. People are coming from overseas, like Amsterdam one year, somebody flew over. It's crazy. Like if you're a collector and you're looking for autographs or you're looking for, you've got one of the encyclopedias. You got to plan your day, obviously, but I don't think you can meet everybody that you want to meet. And I think that's why you have to be a repeat customer. You might have a list of 20 names this year, and there might be 20 of the same people here in 2026, but those are 20 people you didn't meet last year. So now you have to come this year and try to knock those people out too. And there's always some big headline stuff that's going to come out, and that gets more difficult literally every year, man. There's only so many big draw names. There's only so many people that want to come out on Thanksgiving weekend. Like everybody asked for Bret Hart. Bret Hart's not coming out Thanksgiving weekend. He's with his family. He's not doing it. He said no. And then there's things like Stone Cold and Goldberg and stuff like that go to WrestleCons. But WrestleCon has got such a built-in audience. Not knocking what they do. It's really difficult what they do. But they're partnered with WrestleMania, realistically, whatever town they're in.
Mm-hmm.
So their ability to make that kind of money is a lot easier than what two guys are going to do here. So it's really not possible to bring in something huge like that right off. Still working on it though. I mean, stuff like Mike Tyson and stuff are still on the bucket list to bring in, which he's got wrestling and boxing mixed, but
True.
it gets that kind of stuff gets more difficult every year. But somehow we seem to pull it out of right field every time. So still praying for that this year.
Well, see, I think, people will try to compare what WrestleCade is, and like you said, to WrestleCon, and they're tapped in with WrestleMania. You guys, for me personally, I've never seen you guys come at it from a point of like competition with them. You guys just love
No.
to do this.
Yeah, I mean, WrestleCon is one of like all those guys. They're really good friends of mine. Like I love what they do. Me and my daughter always go to WrestleMania. We always support what they do. We've already got tickets to all their stuff when we're going to Las Vegas in April. So I love what they do, and I support what they're doing too. Like um, they're great people. I mean, the only people I think we've ever been in competition with, which is wild enough to say, was WWE that year. They decided to come in and do Starrcade in Greensboro, which
Bro.
was it was, one of the WWE producers texted me. He was like, "Man, they're not doing that on purpose. Like, they don't even. You're a blip on the radar." I'm like, okay, whatever you say, man."
And they managed to reach out and book most of the
Yeah,
WWE legends we had that had to scramble over to the Coliseum.
I'm not gonna
Right.
lie. I left WrestleCade and went straight to it. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people did. I mean, it was. I mean, it was a cool show. I mean, Arn Anderson did his last spine buster there that night, and
They went
it,
nuts.
it was. Yeah, I mean, it was cool, but I mean, it didn't affect us at all. Like,
No, it didn't.
there's a casual wrestling fan that doesn't like he goes to work on Monday and doesn't talk about wrestling. He watches Raw, SmackDown. He probably watches Dynamite and Collision. Probably none of his friends know that he watches wrestling. He might watch it with his kids, but he doesn't talk about it. He doesn't post about it on Facebook. Um, they go watch Starrcade. They go to WWE, and there's nothing wrong with that. I have never been able to pull that fan over to independent wrestling. The reason we get a lot of critique from people saying we book too many names or whatever, and it's not so we could take pictures of them in the locker room or all that. It's just you have to try to lure that casual fan in. If it's only for one show, just to show them what we do, if they can meet somebody. But it's difficult, man. There's casual fans and there's indie fans, and it's two different breeds of people, two different clientele, two different money aspects. It's just two different people.
It's facts. So let me ask you, what is your favorite WrestleCade moment? I know it's been plenty of them, but like, if you had to do two, what's your like top moments?
If I had to do two, one of them would definitely be we had done the George South Invitational Battle Royal for a couple of years before Top Rope Belts took it over. And I had got with Rockstar Spud before the show and kind of told him what I wanted to do, but I refused to tell George South what we were doing. And all I would tell George is just listen to Spud. And George trusts me now. Then was a little different. He just walked around talking crap about me all day long and how he wasn't going to listen to no stupid potato and he didn't know what I was doing. But at the end of the night, what I was doing was trying to make a moment. And Spud, man, he did the most phenomenal job. He like I remember he just kept telling George, just keep giving it to me. And George's like, brother, I don't got no more moves to give you. So like we had George win his own battle royal that year. That was the first time he'd ever not been heel and kind of got on the mic and did some babyface stuff. And I just remember, I was at the ring and I actually had to stop and leave while he was doing it. And I just went behind the curtain and kind of sat by myself for a minute and kind of had a tear in my eye. And I was like, it was a moment for fans. It was a moment for me. It was a moment for George. And it meant a lot to me to be able to do that. But I don't know, man. There's been a lot of moments. I mean, the crazy things like, being in the middle of the co-main event and the main event guy walking up to you and tell you that since they're bleeding, he can't wrestle. He's got a rare skin disease where if he bumps in somebody's blood, he'll end up in the hospital with an infection and he just can't wrestle. And we're like 7 minutes away from the main event happening. He's just like, I'm going to go change shoes, brother. Like, I was like, brother, I can get another canvas. Like, keep your boots on. So many crazy things that people don't know about behind the scenes and that's happened over the years, but it's there's the Muda story. There's the first ever Matt Hardy versus this Gunner. I got to tell people now it was a 30-minute Ironman match, but it was only like 18 minutes long. But we just kept like jumping the time down on the timer, and nobody had a clue what we were doing. So it's stupid stuff like that. I mean, we've always tried to have fun. Me and Benny quit every year, but realistically,
yeah,
we have fun while we're doing it. It's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work people don't know about. So
Benny, think, what, 2023? I think Benny quit like 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same weekend.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. So if I had to ask you, man, super random, what's your favorite rap album?
Oh man, probably Wu-Tang Forever, 1997.
I knew you were gonna say Wu-Tang, I didn't even know you were a fan, but I knew you were about to say that.
I bought that at Peaches when it came out. If
Oh,
anybody
wow.
remembers, yeah, that's
I'm 22
Wu-Tang.
years old. I don't know what Peaches is.
It's where you had to buy CDs back in the day, brother. So
Yeah.
you didn't stream it on your phone. You had to go to the store and buy the CD.
I don't even know what a
It was
CD is.
hot.
I'm sorry,
Yeah. Uh,
young fella.
but it was back in the day. It was Nas. Uh,
Nas is
I'm a
my
big
top for sure.
yeah Jay Z back in the day. Bone Thugs and Harmony, top of the list.
Okay.
Um, like now, Big X the Plug, West Side Gun. I listen to a lot of his stuff.
Do you like
Uh,
Big X's last album?
the country one, yeah, it's all right. It's not.
I like it.
I mean, I like it, but it's not. It's not his best.
It was different for him.
Hey, yeah.
Definitely different.
I mean, I don't know. That's I don't know. Wu-Tang Forever or Chronic 2001. That was a pretty good album too, and that's kind of what I grew up on. I don't think you could beat that, to be honest.
Not at all. I'm gonna let Benny ask you the next one.
All right. I'm gonna ask the question. One of the questions that I threw into this: what is
Oh my
your
God.
favorite like wrestling title belt in all of wrestling?
Big Gold. Yeah, I mean that's the one, man. That's the one I grew up. That's the one I grew up wanting to be. So
At all. I think a lot of people are gonna want to know this next one. What is your personal booking process like? How do you know who's right for what show?
that's a loaded question. I
It is.
don't. I don't, and I'll credit my roster, man. If you go back as far as you can go back right now, man, I use the same people a lot because I know I can count on them and I know they're good people. Um, Zane Dawson was on the first ever AML show. He's on the show this weekend, 2015 to 2026. He's been there the whole time. George South been there the whole time. Like we use the same people a lot. Like CW's my brothers. I was in his wedding. Like you have to see. Um, Sometimes you got to guess, but sometimes you got to see how people. It's a lot of things that people don't even notice that you're doing. You got to see how people interact with each other backstage, um, in real life, like not you know not in the wrestling world. You got to see how they interact with each other. Are they going to have chemistry in the ring? Is it going to be something where they're trying to get themselves over instead of their opponent? You got to. It's it's weird, man. You really got to put a lot of thought into it. It's difficult. Um, we do a lot of repeat stuff, and I don't know if people ever notice or not, but a lot of the same people always end up working each other, and sometimes we flip the baby face and the heel. I mean, I think CW and George have wrestled each other heel babyface both times, 3 times over. Like Andersons and Dawsons back in the day, it was the Geordie Bulldogs and the Heat Seekers. Um, it's difficult, man. I kind of got to lay it out, like I mentioned earlier, man. You got to have the comedy spot. You got to have a little bit of the old school wrestling. You got to have some tag team stuff. You got to have that serious match. You got to have a title match. You got to throw some women in there every once in a while. And I know I get a lot of heat from the internet because I don't book women all the time. But man, you're not me too and me. I'm not getting into all that. I'm not. It's so difficult. Women are a lot more expensive, but they're extremely talented. Um, it just makes it really difficult to find women they can work each other, because that's part of the booking process. You've got to find two girls that can get along, that don't hate each other, that don't have backstage drama. Because really, I don't want to be a part of that either. I don't want to hear how you hate somebody else and all that. But um, we've started doing more women's matches. Clara trains here at the school. She's married to Jesse. That's our champ. She's going to do some cool stuff with us this year. She's got a match on Saturday. I think we've got Shayna Baszler in May coming up to wrestle Clara. So
Mm.
got some cool stuff coming. But I mean, it's a. I used to book shows like 3 or 4 months in advance, man. I would lay like all these stories out, and that's how I used to do it back in the day. And then somebody would not be able to make a show, or somebody would cancel, and it just messes your whole story up. So I'll be honest, man, I don't book the next show until like the week of the show that I'm getting ready to do, or directly afterwards, like the next couple days, like nail it all down. And the only reason I'm able to do that is because I've got this same roster of people all the time, and they've already holding my dates, and they already know that they're going to be there. Um, and luckily, if I do say, hey, I got a spot for everybody except for you this month, they're like, all right, cool. They might be mad at me for a little bit, but they'll go try to get another booking. But I try not to do that too much. Tracy tries to cut me back. I get heat on the internet too, because it's like, oh man, you're doing another scramble match. Listen, man, fans love that stuff. They're hyped the whole time. The matches that we do that way, there's not a person that ever sitting down the whole time. They're always standing up. They always love it. It's crazy. It's wild. They're fun to watch. They're fun to put together. Like, I don't know. I do one every month. I don't care. It's plus it gives 6 guys a way to get paid, get a booking. So
That's true.
do
And
what you got to
it
do.
helps the fans get eyes on people they may not have seen before.
Very true.
Correct. I mean, and that's how we've been like we've been introducing people to AMLs, stuff like that. I think Drew Hood was going to be in one of those, this coming up weekend, but some things got changed. I can't say who he's wrestling because that gives away too much. But he's debuting on Sunday. Don Fiaro is coming in. He's doing some stuff. Just we try to sprinkle in some new people, just see how they do with our roster, how they do with our fans, how they do backstage with all of our, producers, and if they're nice to Benny or not. If they're not nice to Benny, they can't stay. So
Exactly.
Well, Ben, I think it's time to play the game, and let's go and get it out the way.
Let's do it.
You want to explain the rules?
oh my God.
All
Are
right.
we gonna talk about Benny going to the gym now, or we're gonna play a game?
Man, dude, he's been in there getting it in too.
Right, man. I'm proud
Look.
of him, man.
Look, I'm not getting any younger,
No, you ain't.
and I wanna try to keep going in this. I'll say this now, but come WrestleCade, I'll change my mind. I want to keep going in this crazy business, and I know if I'm gonna keep being George's personal referee, I got to be in a little bit better shape.
And I can promise you, like, I know, we post pictures and things like that, but he's not doing it for show. He's actually
No.
so just a quick rundown. Everybody that knows everything that's been going on with me health wise, I had to make some changes, some serious changes, and I've lost a ton of weight, and I feel so much better. And explaining that to Benny the last couple of times before we went to the gym originally, I can tell he got kind of interested, and I joked about it like the week before. He texted me back a week later, like, "Hey, were you serious? Because I think I really want to go in there." And he did. Dude, I'm in there lifting weights. I'm doing mad cardio. And he followed. He never gave up. I know he was sore. I know he was, but damn it, he kept going.
Hey, I'm proud of you both, because I'm telling you, it's not easy. I remember for me, it was back in 2019. Me and JB Cole went to the racetrack, and somebody took a picture of us sitting together. And I was like, man, I am way out of shape. What in the heck? And like, the older you get, the more life hits you. And I had kids and life, work, man. You just go and go and go and go and going, and you don't ever think about it until it's something like that happens.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm proud of you both, man. It's something I got addicted to. Really, is going to the gym.
Yeah.
I've had to change my mindset a little bit. I was 7 days a week, and that's not good for you either, man. You got to let your muscles heal and everything. I've had to keep myself down to 5 days. I kind of want to get to 4, but I'm doing 5 days right now. I take Thursdays off, and I come to our school and hang out with our students.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sunday is the Lord's Day, so I've been trying to take Sundays off. But
Gotcha.
it's
While you're at it too, let everybody know the days that you guys do training. So for anybody that's interested that wants to join the wrestling world.
yeah, man. We the first Monday of every month we're doing some like special camps that Josh Gary's doing. But Tuesday is the Beer City Bruisers here. Wednesday is JAC, and then Thursdays me, Josh, Beer City all come together and kind of do some stuff on Thursdays. Um, Man, live your dream to be a pro wrestler, man. That's, we got to load 2 rings in trucks after we get done with this podcast, and everybody kind of doesn't want to do stuff like that. But I was listening to a podcast on the way here, trying to prep for the podcast thing, and it was Undertaker and Michael P.S. Hayes, and Michael Hayes is like, man, I remember in '77 when I was setting up rings. I'm like, brother, Michael Hayes can do it. You can do it. I'm telling you. So
Right.
if a Freebird can do it, but yeah, it's cool, man. I never thought in a million years that I would have a school to teach kids how to be pro wrestlers, just being a pro wrestling fan. And but here we are. We've had plenty of cool trainers over the years. George has been here, Josh, Bruiser, a couple people that owe me money. You know, throw that in there. If you're watching and you feel good enough that you would like to pay me, I would love to buy a couple pair of Jordans with your money that you owe me. Thank you.
Heard that. And just to throw it in there, where can people go to sign up?
AMLWrestling.com / training. You can sign up there. It's $275 to sign up. It's $20 a session. It's cheap college, man. And you know what? If you're just looking to get in shape and you just like wrestling, man, we'll get you in shape here too, man. We blow up drills, and there ain't nobody here that don't know how to do cardio. So come hang out with us, man. We'll get you in shape too.
That's fast.
See, that's the goal. I want to be able to get in there and like do some rolls and stuff again. So, because it's been a minute since I've done that stuff. I've been eating plenty of rolls, but I haven't been doing any rolls.
Right.
Hey Benny, while you're at it, let's tell Brian your worst workout when we're at the gym. What's that one thing you hate?
Oh, that crunch machine.
Well, no, that's. But you got to do I've seen the video of you. You're doing the one where your legs come in it, man. You got to go down to the other one. That one's too hard. You're not there yet. Don't go over to the other one.
For the location we go to, that's the only one that they have. And
okay,
dude, he hates it, but he does it though. He does it.
I got all this belly to work around, so
you got to get the cardio before you get to abs. I don't have abs. I've been working out since 2019.
Look, I don't want abs. I just want there to be a little less belly.
I'll be honest with you. I've lost 32 pounds since WrestleCade. So
good shit.
Wow.
We kicking it in high gear now. I was 217 at WrestleCade. I'm down to I was 186 when I was. So we're rolling.
Gotcha. All right, Benny. Let's explain these rules real quick so we can get him started.
Go for it.
Oh man.
No, I'm gonna let you explain it. You go ahead, explain it, brother.
All right, we're gonna give you 2 options, and you have to pick one.
Oh boy.
There's no both or neither. If you give like a non-answer, there are consequences.
That consequence is, I had something, but I'm gonna switch it now just because we've been talking. If you say neither or both to any of these questions, you have to go on Facebook and just tag Nia Jax and say she's the best women's wrestler of all time. Period. That's all.
The real one. The real one.
That's all you got to say.
There was a fake one. There was one that used to. I don't know, man. I swore. Never mind.
You good with that?
Yeah, man. Nia was. She was at AML. I feel like she was there, right? No, maybe it wasn't her.
No, it was close, but not really.
Close.
All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and go first. I'm gonna come out swinging. All right.
Oh Lord.
JAC or George South?
George South all day.
Okay. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Benny, we'll go question for question. You go ahead.
All right. The Dawsons or the Andersons?
Dawsons.
And by the way, when you do answer, if there's a cool story that you want to say about any people you pick or any of the two, you can input that as well.
So I say the Dawsons because they're twin brothers. Zane's been with me since the beginning. CW was close thereafter, but I mean, he's had, you know, that's a loaded because it ain't CW, it's the Anderson. So there's Brock in there too, and Brock is Arn's son, and it was kind of, I mean, we did, you know, kind of put it together, and they've ran with it to MLW and TNA and stuff, and it's cool, but it ain't like an OG AML thing anymore. So it's neither of the Dawsons, but Dawsons for sure.
Heard that. All right. Your favorite wrestler, Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels?
Shawn Michaels all day, bro. Ain't
Why
even a
not
question. He was, yeah, he wasn't no good. I mean, you gonna get I'm gonna get canceled on the internet from this whole podcast. Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels carried the whole match. I mean, I'm just,
I heard that.
they did.
I respect it. You go ahead, Benny.
All right. NWA or the Wu-Tang Clan?
I mean, that's Wu-Tang. I mean,
You know that now.
I was a Wu-Tang guy, so it was.
Who's your favorite member? You know, there's 50 of them.
Yeah, I know.
51 recall.
I mean, probably Method Man. He's Ghostface.
You can't
number 2. Yeah, it's all good. It was a dual CD. You know what I mean? It was loaded.
How do you feel about Method Man's acting? Have you seen anything he's acted in?
Yeah, it's just his music's better for sure.
He's all right, man. He's gotten a lot better. He has gotten a lot better.
He has.
It's just I've seen him in like some more serious roles lately, like in TV shows. He's changing it up, but he's always going to be the same Method Man regardless.
Right, right.
His rapping is timeless. It is what it is. You talking about getting in the gym? Have you seen, brother?
Yeah, no, he's jacked. Good for him.
He's in serious shape. I want to know about this one for sure. Gustavo or Zuka King?
Wrestler or friend is a follow-up question.
I think I know that answer. So you got to pick wrestler.
I've always been a heel guy. I've always cheered the bad guy, even before it was cool type thing. So I'm gonna say Zuka.
Okay.
I mean, Zuka's a top-notch heel. Like,
yeah, Zuka was somebody when I brought into AML, I saw a lot of potential in, and Tracy's like, man, I don't see it, but I trust you. I trust your booking. And then, we did the whole story, like Future Stars, when him becoming the champion and everything. And Tracy came back around. He's like, man, you was right. This is the real deal. I mean, it's, he's a guy that could, get signed somewhere and do some stuff. I mean, he's a really good heel, man. He knows how to play the part. He's got enough old school heat. He's got enough old school the way he works. I mean, it's always worked for me. I mean,
and Zuka can work with anybody. That's the thing. Like, it doesn't matter who he's in the ring with. You're going to get a good match.
Gustavo's great. I just, he's either Eddie Guerrero or Jey Uso. So I mean, that's he's a good baby face.
He's a good comparisons though. Regardless, he's a great baby face.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think one thing about both of them, and I think both of you guys will easily say this is correct. They know how to control a crowd. Both of them.
Yeah. Right. And when you put them together in matches, man, it was so good because he was such a good baby face and such a good heel. I mean, they had such good stuff going on back then. All the matches they've had were great.
I think even going back, when Zuka was the champion, he takes extreme pride for companies when he's wearing gold for them, and it's like you know where he's the champion of. you know, where he's going to be at. He makes sure, even like he's very strategic when it comes to his promo pictures. When he talks about promotion, sharing stuff, he shares everything and he lets everybody know where the next show is going to be and where to find him at. And that's always a good thing, you know, because people have to understand, like, as wrestlers, personal investments. If you're not, it's easy to share a flyer. It's super easy. A lot of guys don't want to cut promos. You're talking about a guy that thrives on that. He loves to. And again, just sharing a poster. Like, why don't you want to share a poster that your face is on somewhere where you're going to be at? Putting money.
I never understood the promo thing either. Like, if I was wrestling personally, and I knew I was going to a show, and the way I would train people to this day still, I'm not really looking for the payout like the promoter is going to give me. I'm looking to connect with the people that are there.
Mm-hmm.
I've always worked in the car business. So my paycheck for the last 25 years has been commission. I've always worked on commission. So I want to get all those people to come to my table at the end of the night. I want to sell them 8x10s, t-shirts, whatever I got. That's my mentality. So if I can go to promo and share it on Facebook and I can get you to feel something that I'm sharing and make you feel something that connects us together somehow, if it's whatever I got to do to connect you with me so we can have something together that I could sell you something. Life is all about sales, man. That's a whole nother podcast we could do one day, but I don't care what you're doing, you're always selling something, always selling something. And when you've realized that in life and you learn how to roll with it, you'll make a ton of money. But that's a lot of people are worried about just the payout and what their worth is, and that's cool, man, if you want to have that small mindset. But you know, I would want to work, you know, 4 to 5 places. If I was a wrestler, I would pick 4 to 5. I might switch them out every 8 to 12 months just to see some fresh people. But I want to connect with your crowd. I want to cut promos. I want to see the same people every month. I want to sell them a new t-shirt. I want to sell them a new 8x10. I want to get to know them. I want them to follow me on Facebook. I want them to come to another show that I'm going to be at. I want to tell the promoter, hey man, I sold those people tickets because they come follow me around now. Like, I don't see the hype in the, you know, Facebook's always, you know, can't work for this promotion, or I ain't gonna cut no promo unless you pay me more. Like, it's just, to me, all that Facebook's fake anymore. Like, I'm a digital creator. I get paid to post on Facebook. Like, I'm not one of the people that do it because it is kind of cheap, but there's so many people that I see on there that just post just so people interact with it. They're posting something obviously whack, wrong, stupid, just to get you triggered at home, just so you comment and like it, share it. Somebody else gets mad and they comment, and you just got a bunch of comments, a bunch of people arguing, and the person that posted it is just sitting over there twiddling their thumbs, getting paid, and then everybody's pissed off at the end of the night. So, like, that's, I don't know.
No, I
The
totally.
world could be a whole lot more kind, nice, and easy if they would just, you know, stop arguing and try to help somebody. So
That's facts. And you know, even like I'm just going off of what you just said because I never even thought about that too when I was wrestling. You know, like you saying, like going to 5 different promotions, switching like maybe every what you said 7 or 8 months. Because I think the mindset of it now for a lot of guys is that I have to go this place, that place, this place, that place to get noticed. But if you actually take the time to just hone your craft, whether it is the promos or the matches that you're having, and actually get into a feud with somebody. Because like I used to talk to Benny all the time. I have these crazy ideas for what I want to do in matches and or promos. And it's like, to some people, it might be like, oh no, you're doing too much. But again, you're your own personal investment. Why not take that time to hone that craft and practice the things that you want to be great at? I look at promos all the time, even though that I'm not even wrestling now. I look at promos all the time just to see like, hey, where could I have done better or said things different? Caprice Coleman, great person. I feel like great wrestler. When you come to any of his seminars, and it was one he just did just for promos one day at Firestar, and he was just going over facial expressions. Never thought of how much importance that is, that because people don't think, you know, if I'm just sitting there talking down to the ground, people can hear you, but they're not actually seeing how you feel. But you got some guys even that'll shed a tear, actually show the crowd, like, you know, I'm struggling to get this out, but I need everybody to feel exactly what I'm saying. So they actually,
right.
like, you know what? This dude is crying. He's serious. He wants this. I got to see what's going on next week when he comes out and faces this guy. Instead of
And
saying, I'll be here next. Hey, watch me.
Yeah, that's the indie promo. Hey, brother, we're gonna be in Elkin on Saturday the 28th. It starts at 7 o'clock, and I'm wrestling such and such, and doors open at 4 o'clock. Like, yeah, brother, we know. We saw the poster. You shut up. Like, we got it. That was the JB Cole promo. Every month he said the same thing over and over. He cut a promo, but it was the same promo every month.
Yep. I think he had the poster in front of him, just reading it.
Yeah, every time. But it's that is what it is. You gotta just get people to invest, man. It's really easy. It's really, 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 really easy.
I got two more for you. This is a random one. Bianca Belair or Trish Stratus?
Bianca, for me, I was never like Trish wasn't. She was more in the diva era, so it wasn't like. I mean, she had some good matches, but Bianca, man, we go to WrestleMania every year. That's one of the highlights of our WrestleMania. She throws it down. If you want to talk about women's wrestling, how many bad matches she ever had? You know what I mean? Like,
I can't remember.
Not many. Yeah, but I remember seeing her on the old coconut loops down in Florida when we would go on vacation. We always tried to hit one of those NXT like small house shows. And I remember her coming out with the hair, swinging it, getting over with the crowd. I didn't even know who she was back then. And I was like, she's got that it. You know what I mean? As soon as she walks out the curtain, there's a connection. Like both of my kids, like as soon as she walked out, they're like, oh, that's cool, man. She's got the long hair. She knows what to do with it. She used it during a match. She understands wrestling. You know what I mean? She gets that part of it. So
I was literally just talking about her with somebody recently because this guy thought that she'd been wrestling for like 10, 15 years. I said, dude, she just started wrestling.
Right, yeah.
She has not been doing this a long time. She just, like you just said, she gets it.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And Trish was awesome, but it was a different era. I mean, it was the women's revolution or whatever. Women were, they went from the Vince McMahon like stereotypical, go out half naked type thing to y'all got to go out there and wrestle.
Yeah.
And it's taking a whole different, it's a lot different. I mean, you got to go out and have a 5-star match. If you're gonna be on WrestleMania, you got to know how to work. You know what I mean?
And the matches that she's had at Mania, they've always been great. Always.
Oh my God, they're so good. They're so memorable too, man. It's just so good.
That's what wrestling is. It's the moments, the things that you remember. Like wins and losses, people forget that stuff, but the way you make them feel, that's what they remember.
Man, I couldn't tell you who won or lost at last year's WrestleMania. It's just the being there, being in the moment. Just I tell my locker room every time. Benny can tell you every show that I have. Man, these fans out here just want to disconnect from how bad life sucks for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Life sucks, man. You got bills. You got an asshole for a boss. You might have marital problems. Your kids are getting picked on in school. But for 2 hours, I can take that all away. And just give you something to just disconnect from all that and just have a good time and cheer and boo and be loud, and it's sad when you go home because like, man, I got to wait a whole nother month before I get to do that again. You know what I mean? That's
sure. That's facts. I got one more for you, boss. Racing or pro wrestling?
I
know you got love for both.
Currently at my age and what I got going on, wrestling, I don't plan on doing anything racing this year at all whatsoever.
Gotcha.
We had tickets to Bowman Gray, and the ice ruined that too for the cup race. So it was on like a Wednesday night, and we decided not to go because of work. But this is the first time since I was probably 11 or 12 years old, or maybe even earlier, that I have zero plans to do anything with racing. And it's just a point in my life now where my age, my kids' age, the stuff they got going on, just trying to find time to fit everything into life. I just can't do it anymore. And I just, racing's one of the things that I decided, I'm not going to do. So I might still end up there once or twice. I never say never. Just like Benny quits wrestling all the time. I mean, I'm sure I'll go. But as far as like doing that, I would say wrestling. If it was something I wanted to like invest in a career and go work, it'd be, if I had to pick between NASCAR and WWE, it would be WWE. I mean, I think that's what I would pick. So,
Understood. Understood. We'll get back into these other questions, man. I got some great ones for you. What is your wrestling manager Mount Rushmore?
I didn't write that question.
That was all me. That was me. Like if you, as you can see on my podcast, man, I like to pick people's brains. I want to see them think, man.
Bobby Heenan for sure.
Okay.
I always like Virgil with Ted DiBiase.
Okay.
It's probably an oddball in there because it was weird, but I like when Rick Rude did it in WCW. He was a good manager back when he had the suit and all that.
Yep.
He was really good. That's probably a weird one too, honestly.
It is, but hey, I respect it.
Rick Rude was good though, man. I like Rick Rude.
Yes.
CW's gonna hate me, but I mean, it's Paul Heyman has got to be on there. I mean, he's got to be on there. Sorry, CW. That's
I think not saying Paul Heyman for anybody is kind of just like it's kind of outlandish at this point. After what he's done over the last, I would say 10 years, you cannot miss him. You can't.
Same thing with Bobby Heenan. I feel like he was. I mean, if you just like go put on a random ass WrestleMania, like he comes out with somebody random, you're like, oh, damn, I don't even remember that. But he got that whole match over, like because he was in it. So
facts. I'm asking this for anybody in the world that's trying to get on a bigger stage, and I always put AML as a bigger stage of wrestling because of the talent you put over and the shows that they've always been great. So for any rising star trying to be a part of the AML roster, what do you look for?
Work ethic. I always tell people the same story when I talk about this. White Mike was broke. He didn't have no money. He was lost in life. But I posted on Facebook one day, and people like, this is the stuff that you constantly like. Nobody ever said it to me, but they always rumble and talk, behind your back. But, we had a Global Force versus AML show. It was like, hey man, you come help set up the ring. I'll let you on a battle royal. Realistically, for all those people that talked all that smack, I ain't got to do that. I could just say, hey, come set up the ring and you can watch the show. You know what I mean? I don't have to give you a spot. And White Mike came to that. He didn't have no money. He'll tell you he didn't have no money. And he came to it, and he made sure that in a battle royal, he got noticed in that match. Enough that Sanjay Dutt and Jeff Jarrett both were like, I don't know who that dude is, but you need to book him. To, he went from that to me not knowing who he was to, he's a 2-time AML champ. He was tag champ. He's prestige champ. He's the only. There's one other guy now, but I think he was the first, person to win all 3 AML titles. So I mean, that's you just. And I'm not talking about to come and set up the ring, man. I have so many people now that like come set up the ring because I've said that, and then they never introduce themselves or they never follow up. Like I say the same thing to everybody, like, hey, thanks for coming, thanks for helping out. I'm not going to remember your name right now because there's 900 things going on, but shoot me a message on like Tuesday and I get nothing. And then it's like, well, man, I set up the ring. He never booked me. Man, that's cool. You showed up one time to do something. That's not memorable for me. You know what I mean? Like, show me that you can stand out. Show me that you want to help do something. Like it's just like any job. You got to go put in the work, show that you're going to put in some effort and try to take it to the next level and see what happens. And if you don't do that, then, it's not going to go anywhere. But either come to our school and get over, like, I'm going to stop for this weekend as one of our students is getting to make his debut on the main roster. We haven't done Future Stars in a while, so he didn't even get to do that. He's probably done a couple smaller shows in North Carolina, but he's getting thrown to the wolves this weekend. So it's either that or you just really gotta, you know, it's as bad as it sounds. You got to have the buddy system. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for Benny, I don't know that me and you would have ever like crossed paths like we did. You know what I mean? It was Benny coming to me and saying, "Hey man, give him a dude a shot. You know, let him see what he can do." So kudos to Benny because you know that's how that worked out.
Yeah. Almost
But
got
I mean
fired.
that's
Almost got fired for that call up that day. But you know what? It was worth it.
hey
It
man,
was,
I ain't got nothing to do with that.
you don't.
Ugh,
Dude, I called my boss and said, "Hey man, I got an emergency. I gotta go. I
yeah,
gotta go." And I was there. I forgot
right.
my boots, but I had kick pads and shoes. But I had to do what I had to do.
That's
Yeah,
right.
but you don't work for that company anymore, so it's all good now.
It's correct.
Yeah.
So I really want to know this one as well too. What would you say your favorite 90s faction is?
NWO,
Okay.
without question. I mean, I was so my favorite wrestler is Scott Hall, Razor Ramon anyway. So being at that age in the 90s, like we were like a strictly WCW family, but we did watch WWF, but like WWF at that time was like characters and WCW was like wrestling. So we watched the other and like my dad never liked Hulk Hogan. He always hated him. And I was like a Hulkamaniac growing up. So I like wanted to watch him. But dude, I still like so many vivid memories, like when Scott Hall was in the front row or whatever, and I was like, "Holy crap!" You know, like the way they did all that back in the day, man. There's nothing to this day for me that's ever duplicated that whole thing. Like you know, and it was Bobby Heenan again, man. I still remember like that night Hogan coming to the ring. Whose side is he on? That's such a famous line, dude. Like, what do you mean whose side is he on? It's freaking Hulk Hogan, you idiot. He's with Sting. What are you talking about? And then he drops his leg. You're like, oh my god, Bobby Heenan, you kayfabe, brother. Come on, what are you talking about?
Me, I
That
think
was
one of the biggest fails in wrestling was not making Razor Ramon a world champion.
so totally agree. Was he's in my Mount Rushmore of anybody, man. He was my favorite wrestler, legit. Ric Flair was close second. But as far as like a pro wrestling match, like Mike Calandro and I were talking before the Rumble this year, and just one night, me and him were chatting, and we just turned on a random Rumble, and I just picked one. And the first match of the Royal Rumble was Jeff Jarrett versus Razor Ramon for the Intercontinental title.
Mm.
Dude, they worked for like 35 minutes, the opening match of the Royal Rumble. And brother, oh my God, it was so beautiful.
Yes.
But I mean, I think he always had so many demons that he could never get to that level. You could never trust him to get to that level. And it sucks, man, because he was better than Bret Hart, but nobody talks about that. He was a better wrestler than Bret Hart, hands down, brother. I'm
I
just,
think when you think about the perfect wrestler, it's like, and it's to me, I'm talking about the look, the charisma. It was like to me, he was like the perfect build, the height, the size. It was nothing about him that wasn't to me ready. He could talk, he could like what couldn't he do?
like even watching like when he was coming up in WWF, like the Miami promos and Uzi Machismo and like just before he even debuted, man, I wish wrestling did that stuff now. Like just give me some hype videos for 6 months before a guy debuts. Let him go, let him do something like that instead of just
Well, they did that with Veer.
debut.
Remember Veer? They did that.
Yeah, that was yeah, that.
We did that for a while.
Stop it. That was terrible.
Oh man. These last two are two-part question, man. I'm very interested in wanting to know what you think about this. What top three things can make wrestling better right now?
So As far as the wrestling business side of it, or just actual pro wrestling in general? There's two different sides of it for me.
I'm going to say pro wrestling in general.
So it's there's too much to me when you sign online and you start reading stuff. It's too much promoter versus talent. Nobody has sat down and said, "Hey, what do we do to work together?" So like I have an idea to start doing shows here at our training center, and I don't know if I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of an idea. I don't want to give you too much because I know I'm going to do it. I just don't know how I'm going to roll it out. But um, I don't have a flat fee that I could pay anybody to do this. So my idea is going to be I need 13 people realistically. I don't care who they are. I need 2 referees, 1 ref, uh, 2 referees, 1 manager, and 10 wrestlers. And I'm going to sell tickets to the show. I'm going to keep 50% of the gross, and the other 50% I'm going to split between the rest of you 13 people. The show is going to be completely different than anything around here. And I know, look, it's tax time, so everybody in North Carolina is currently doing the, man, I'm gonna revolutionize pro wrestling. North Carolina, you better get ready. You ain't never seen no shit like this before. We get ready to do it. I got my tax check. It's all the same. You're gonna go into a gym, you're gonna set up a ring in the middle of the gym, you're gonna put chairs around it, and the same 12 guys gonna wrestle each other all night long. You ain't doing nothing no different than everybody has already. We're all doing the same thing. Calm down. But I do want to do something different. Um, if you ever watched Kill Tony, the comedian, his show that he does in Austin, Texas, it's what he does for comedians. I know he's got a lot of heat. The show's great. I love it. I don't care about all those stuff. But I want to do that for pro wrestling. Um, and I also, in the idea of that, I also want to give the fans a little bit also, because a lot of fans like to get on the internet and talk crap. They like to, oh, he botched that move. Do you know how to do that move? That move's hard. What do you mean you botched it? You can't do it. Man, you're on the couch eating Cheetos. Calm down. I want to give the fan the opportunity to come here, watch a match, and then at the end of the match, and be like, all right, man, you want to talk that smack? What do you want to say? Interact here. And it may have been a bad match because the way the show is going to be, um, it could be a real stinker. It could be a 5-star match, but it could be a real stinker too. But that's the idea of the entertainment that I have in my mind to do the show, because you're not going to know who you're wrestling until you walk out the gate. So there ain't gonna be no calling it in the back. There ain't gonna be no. You might be a heel Monday through Friday, but if you walk out first, you're gonna be a heel. If you walk out second, you're gonna be a babyface. And you better figure it out tonight. And it might suck. I might do 1 show, but you know what I mean. I'm also asking these 13 people to take a risk on my idea to come here without knowing what they're going to get paid. Which you know what? If you advertise yourself to be there and you bring 8x10s and you bring gimmicks and you bring t-shirts, and you didn't have a booking that night, then, you might have the best night of your life. I'm hoping that my idea turns into a way for me to find new talent that I've never seen before. Some people that I can sit in the locker room with and me and Benny sit and tell jokes to each other half the night. You know what I mean? Somebody I can interact with and have a good time with that I would want to be around on Saturday night. I don't want to book a guy that goes and sit in the corner and doesn't talk to anybody all night long, man. This is a hobby for me. I've stopped my life. You know what I mean? This is not what I do. So if I'm not having fun, I don't want to do it.
Facts.
So my idea for that is just to come and have fun. And it's a cool idea, but are you bold enough to count on yourself to come here and do this? And to have a fan talk crap to you after the match if you have a stinker, or if you botch a move, or if you make a mistake, or if you get lost and the fan is smart enough to know that you got lost, or you can be able to handle the critique that a fan gives you. And you know what? It's not going to be just fans. I'm inviting Benny. I'm inviting Mike Calandro. I'm inviting myself. I'm inviting Josh. We're going to have microphones too. The commentary that me and Benny and Jeff and Mike do that nobody hears, you're going to get to hear it for the first time ever. And I'm going to tell you, you're gonna have a good time. It's entertaining. You might get your feelings hurt, but at the end of the day, it's not about getting your feelings hurt. It's, did you learn something? Were you able to adapt? Were you able to overcome? Were you able to connect with people? Were you able to make a little bit of money? Were you able to sell some 8x10s and sell some merchandise? So stay tuned for that. I don't know when I'm going to do it. I'm hoping soon. Um, it's just a matter of me having a few minutes to make a Facebook group and kind of advertise how I'm going to do it. I don't want to. I don't want to keep anybody in the dark from a fan's perspective or a talent perspective. I'm telling everybody now, this is how I'm going to do it. I don't. I don't want to come here and lose money as a wrestling promoter doing something new and different. So here's the deal. I'm going to keep 50%. Why am I keeping 50%? Because I have to pay the light bill here. I have to pay for the ring. I have to pay the power bill. I have to pay rent. Um, my wife has to buy concessions. Like, so we're going to pull all that money together, and the gross at the end of the night, I'm going to keep 50% of it. And then 50% is going to be split between the 13 of you that show up. Um, can the 13 of you promote your sales? Can you invite your family? Can you make sure you get paid more? Absolutely, if you do the work. Or you can just show up here and hope for the best. I mean, it's either way, but it is going to be something new and cool. And mostly it's me wanting to get and connect more promoters and talent together. It's never a us versus them or them versus us thing, man. I hate that so much. Like, when I see those Facebook posts about not wanting to cut promos unless you pay me extra money, or cancellation fees or booking fees and deposits, and it's, we need wrestlers to run shows. Wrestlers need promoters to take the risk of having to get insurance, of having to buy a wrestling ring, of having to buy a truck to get the wrestling ring to the show, to buy light trees, to buy extension cords, to buy music equipment, speakers, tables, tablecloths. You know, everybody thinks, well, this is how much I get paid. If you don't want to pay me that, cool. Okay, well, I've got $200,000 in equipment. When do I get that recouped? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to have fun and entertain people for 2 hours. Like, there's got to be a middle there, and that's another way to get booked on AML. The roster that I use all the time, they know what they know what I want to do. They've invested back in me, and they care what I do about it. If you just want to show up and not talk to me and get paid and go home, it's not what I'm about, man. Come here, have a good time, invest in what I'm doing. Um, listen to my storylines. If you got some input, share it with me. Let's make it cool together. You know what I mean? Which is, that, and television wrestling could use a lot of revamping. If it was me and I was working for somebody like AEW, I think they already do it to an extent, but I would control the dirt sheets and I would make storylines off of it. Like, I would leak that people didn't like each other backstage, and then they would be working each other at the pay-per-view. But I mean, that's old school mentality. To me, the biggest draws in pro wrestling are always like Jeff Jarrett and Kurt Angle, man. It was like, dude, he stole his wife. Did he actually steal his wife? No, man. That's not how it went down at all. But you didn't know that.
You didn't tell me.
You
No.
right. Right. Like, Matt Hardy and Lita and Edge. Like, you did, like, all that real life. That real life stuff sells, man. If you could manipulate the dirt sheets and manipulate the internet, because everybody knows that wrestling's not real anymore. But man, if you could just convince them for a little bit that there's some real beef going on, like, ooh, man, I would have had. If you could have found a way for FTR and CM Punk to wrestle the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega one night, you just sold out whatever you want to sell out with promos, and you still got to know how to work together for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Regardless, but real life sales, I mean, you just got to control that. If it was me, I would be leaking so much fake stuff to dirt sheets about people not liking each other and using it for, using it to sell tickets. But that's just me.
Yeah. Well, man, the crazy part is I had one last question, but you actually answered it, so I ain't go there. Now, I really appreciate that, man. Just you sitting on here taking the time with this dude, because I've always wanted to have that conversation with you, but we finally got around to it. It was perfect timing, and I think that more people, when they listen to this, they'll understand more about Brian, because I think and I think you know this too. I think people might look at you and be like, I think he's an asshole.
I am.
But they don't.
Well,
I mean, you can be when necessary.
Right,
But
but I will also
really.
give you this shirt. I'll give you the shirt off my back. I've you know, the jokes about getting paid when somebody needed a job but didn't have a job and didn't have any money. I was the first person to offer. People that needed bookings and got bookings and gave opportunities to. You know, I've given back to pro wrestling so much that I lost so much money. This is not. I'm not a millionaire because of this. I'm not rich because of this. You know, I pay my bills working just like everybody else does, man. I'm one of the people that want wrestling to be better than when I found it. So, I mean, can I be an asshole? Absolutely. But if I'm an asshole to you, it's probably because you deserved it, realistically. And the sooner you realize that and come back and just have a conversation with me, and you be a perfect example of that, like, you know what I mean? Soon as you sit down and come to that common ground, be like, hey, man, I said this, you said that. Both those things are screwed up. Can we like and start over? Then that's probably, you know, that having, I do a lot of coaching stuff with automotive and you know, hard conversations make for an easy life. Easy conversations make for a hard life. So if you just go ahead and have those hard conversations, your life's so much easier.
It's as simple as that. And I think the last thing what I'll close with is people do not know how to separate ego and reality.
Correct.
So it's two total different things, and it lives and breathes through pro wrestling. And I feel like when people understand that split in between, we'll be a lot better.
Absolutely.
And it's gonna get there because you do have people that are leading the forefront. You, Benny, Tracy, Cozone, like everybody is trying to do what they were set out to do with wrestling. It's a dream, man. Regardless, like you said, whether it be a hobby or job, this is a job for a lot of people. And
Absolutely.
take it serious, but then you have a lot of guys that do not take it serious, that will not train, that will not take the time to become better. It's just, hey, I went to this wrestling school. It was cool for a little bit, but now I'm about to get this gear made, and I'm gonna go be great. You're gonna go out here and hurt people.
Right. I'm not going. I don't need to set up. I mean, there was one, you know, group chats and stuff with the school, and it's like, man, Brian just wants free labor and people to set up the ring. No, I don't want that. I would love to pay everybody. There's just not enough money to do that. What I want for you to do is to learn every part of pro wrestling. I want you to know how to ring announce in case you got to ring announce one night. I want you to learn how to referee. I want you to know how to set up a ring, because if you don't know how to set up, you don't know what you're doing. I want you to know how to do that. I want you to know how to set up an entrance. I want you to learn how to hook up speakers. I want you to learn how to work sound. I want you to learn everything. So when you leave my arena, you're a better human being, and you can use some of those skills to go do other things to make money. Like if you stop thinking it's just free labor and if you just come set up the ring in whatever name we've got, if you just corner them for 10 minutes and ask them a question and learn something about pro wrestling from somebody, it's worth it, man. You can make that experience pay if the experience isn't paying you. Trust me. There's something at that event that you can do to learn and make yourself a better person if you let it. If you go in with a negative mindset, like I'm a big believer, negative in, negative out. But if you positive in, positive out. If you're thinking negatively right now and that's the way you're living your life, negative things are going to happen because you're expecting them to. But if you're trying to be positive all the time and you're trying to make good things happen, that's the way life's going to throw. It's going to throw positive stuff at you. So that's how you live your life.
That's facts, man. Well, man, I don't want to take no more of your Thursday. You know, I know you probably want to go chill with the family. So I want to close by saying, man, I love you. I love your family, man. Thank you for what you guys do every month, and thank you for WrestleCade. I mean, I know leading up to it for the rest of the year is going to be something, but we're going to be here. We're going to be listening, and like I talked to you the other day, we got some great things coming, and I appreciate you giving me that green light on that. So, again, I appreciate you, man. It's been one hell of a day. One great conversation. Right. I can't wait for everybody to hear it.
Man, let's make a date so we can go to the gym together one night.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Benny's driving.
Oof.
I always drive.
That is true.
That's how we get places on time.
Hey, shut up.
That means we'll do leg day if he's going to drive. We'll really have to shake it.
Oh Lord,
he's cooked.
Cooked.
Well, man, it's been fun, man. I appreciate you, man. It's been Tevin Talks. Benny, Brian. We're out.